these chewing beer?
No.
Okay. We're gonna make this work anyway, though. Took a lot to come to you today. Semi on time.
I didn't even know it was just on. It's on now?
Yep, absolutely. I'll be drinking this. I'm gonna go pop my bottle really quick. Unbelievable. All right, show must go on. How's everybody doing tonight?
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
And back up some.
Yeah, it seems too close. Yeah, it sounds a little better. It looks a little better.
All right. Today we are going to be bringing you Being Married Is Long Distance Dating.
Long distance dating.
Long distance dating.
Yeah.
And of course sharing our experience with it, what we went through, what we've been through, how we survived it. So last week we came to you and we introduced our new segment, Being Married Is, and last week's topic was how we met. So this week we're just going to talk about how we survive long distance dating.
Yeah. Long distance relation. I mean, when Jai and I first met, she lived here in Syracuse. I lived in New York City, and wasn't really sure how that was gonna work. Especially the fact that it was.
Oh, Pop's on live this time. Yes, we are live this time, Dad. You are on here while we're here.
Hey, Dad, what's happening? Love you. Yeah, so we. It was a challenge because. Should I go into?
You can go into whatever you want.
Okay. Talk about that too. Yeah.
Hey, that's on you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay.
That's personal business.
Well, they can't do. Well, I mean,
you.
they can't do nothing to me now. So, but, yeah. So, Jai lived here in Syracuse. I lived in New York, and in order for us to see each other on a consecutive basis, a steady basis, as the best we could, was either she came down in New York City to see me, which is 4.5, 5 hours, or I hopped on a bus to come up here to Syracuse. The funny thing about that, I don't know if not too many people know, but there's a lot of revealing things, was I was on parole at the time. Yeah, I was parole. Yeah, prison, parole. Yeah, so technically I can't leave the 5 boroughs. I could not leave the 5 boroughs. And that's like a violation and get me sent back. And I took a chance, you know what I mean? At the time, I'm going to say now it wasn't smart to do, but due to the fact that I was really digging Jai, and I really felt a connection, and I felt, even though we used to be on the phone for hours upon hours a day, while I was at work, I was able to be on the phone, and she was at work and she was on the phone. But I knew that wasn't enough, even though it was a bridging gap that I believe a lot of people need, that they don't do when they're able to see each other on a constant basis. A lot of times when you're able to see a person, you may take for granted the great conversations that can come out of not being easy accessible, for lack of a better phrase. So we was able to talk about things without the the inhibitions of me looking at you. And sometimes you get in front of a person and you get scared about what you might say, and you get nervous and things of that nature. But it's easier to do it on the phone. In this day and age, everyone's texting now. No matter what it is, like if I call in for work, I don't even call. I text them, I'm not coming in. It becomes really impersonal. So we was able to develop such a closer bond by speaking every single day, every minute of the day, and
All day.
all day long, and it allow us to have that mental connection that I don't believe we would have had if we was in close proximity to each other, because most of the things would have probably turned physical, and we would have looked past the fact that I was able to get to know her better, and she was able to get to know me better. I believe that's very important.
I feel like you're almost on your best behavior when you're dating. So, especially when you guys are not within the same area, you're pretty much on your best behavior most of the times. A lot of the traveling that we did caused a little bit of tension. I can't even say that we still didn't argue. We still, bickered.
We argued
a lot.
A lot.
Not a lot. We argued a lot more now than we did back then. But as we were getting to know each other by phone, we were in each other's worlds, so to speak, being on the phone 24 hours a day, and I mean that quite literally. Like, we were in each other's world. So all of the things that he reminisces on now, it was pretty much as if I was there, because I was experiencing them with him, and everything he was going through, I was right there on the phone. Yeah. Anything that was happening around him, minus when you blacked out because you were sick, minus that, I was there. I was pretty much there. So as far as the long distance dating is concerned, I feel like it's a positive thing. I feel like it allows you guys to get to know each other on a mental level, to understand the ins and outs of each other. In the beginning, of course, it's going to be the best behavior. So you really don't know some of the flaws, I guess, so to speak. You really don't know some of the flaws. So that's one of the downfalls of the long distance relationship. But once you guys, once we got a chance to visit each other, we were more in each other's spaces, and some of the attitudes started to come out on both sides. Not
to cut you off, but I think the attitude came out easily. I don't want to say the real us, the real individuals, but that's almost what it is.
Well, yeah, your guards are down by then.
Exactly. And come on, let's be for real. We always put on our best behavior, so to speak, when you're in front of a person. I mean, women, you're not gonna let things loose. You're not gonna quaff in front of the guy, whatever you want to call it, or you ain't gonna do that. I don't know what to call it, but you ain't gonna do that in front of the guy when you first meet him, because y'all want to be Mrs.
Most y'all won't even take out your hair when you first meet.
What I'm saying? You want to be super cute and put together all the time. So, and it's just like with a guy's not gonna be too rude. I mean, we're not talking about jerks here. We're talking about guys who are interested in a person. So you always want to put on your best foot forward. You have to show her that, listen, I'm worth it. I'm worth for you to take a chance and be in a relationship with, regardless of, whatever background she may know about you. But so speaking on the phone and getting that connection, those guards start to come down. So when you get in front of the person, that real you, the way you are, starts to come out because your guards is down. It's almost like, even though you're not physically seeing each other all the time, you're on a mental level with them.
Yeah.
And you're speaking all the time. So now you might be like, oh, go ahead with that bullshit. You might not even have said that before, but now it comes out. Funny story. I'm sorry. I gotta tell you the story.
Are you going into the driving one?
I gotta tell you the story.
Are you going to the going too fast?
No.
The curve one? I'm a curve. I'm gonna do the curve one. Go ahead.
No. Okay.
Yep.
Jai and I was out shopping on Jamaica Avenue in Queens, and it was hot. I was getting aggy and things of that nature. And
he was being his regular self.
I was being me. And the
know
music was loud. Everything was going on, and I was calling Jai. I was calling her. And
while I'm standing next to the goddamn speaker.
But I was calling her, and I felt she wasn't paying attention to me, and she transformed on me in public. I'm the type of guy, I do not like females to perform on me in
Equal
public.
force.
This is
what I did.
Yeah,
Equal
this
force.
was one of the This is one of the points in
This
the
is
beginning.
the first one. Yeah,
the
this
first
is the
one
first one.
where I told myself, this ain't gonna last. This ain't gonna last. I'm about to have a few thrills, and she got to go because she transformed on me in public, raised her voice,
We call it
yelled.
performing. I don't perform.
Well, it was. That's what I called it as a guy. That's how we looked at it. Are you trying to get off on me? And
Let me tell you
the
something.
real her came out.
No, you got a piece of the real me.
Well,
you
that's
know
cool.
I done got fired in that before. That was me and Sherry were standing. Me, Sherry, and somebody else. It was a
Sherry's
kid.
my sister.
Okay, me and his sister, and I know it was a child at the time.
Soraya was there.
Was it Soraya?
So, and I wanted to get Soraya. Soraya
Okay,
was
so we was
thirsty.
a
I
little
wanted
bit-
to get her something to drink.
We were a little bit away from him.
Yeah.
And instead of him walking towards us and saying, hey, trying to get our attention, this MF just screamed like from the pit of his stomach. And I looked at Sherry, she looked at me, and I said, who the F is he yelling at? And he's like, oh, you want to get out here and perform? No. Who the F are you yelling at? How the F are we supposed to? And that's when a couple of the bombs came out.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly speaking, I think that's when you realized I was the one. Because for whatever reason, you like that type of shit.
I don't know if I liked it, but I just felt that, okay, she ain't no prissy light skin from California, scared or whatever, because I had that impression of her. I actually did. I thought the impression of Jai was, she was prissy. That's
A
what
lot
I
of people
thought.
think that.
I thought she was prissy, the way she carried herself, and I'm from the hood, so I'm used to the hood. You know what I mean? And anything outside of the hood, in my thought process, they ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? They just regular females. They just, well, I'm not gonna say regular, good females.
I'm regular.
Jai wasn't, like that. I didn't know she had, I guess, a backbone. Yeah, she had moxie. That's
So
what
how about the time? Okay, so we had a time where, again, traveling, sometimes I would drive up there and I would go see him, and sometimes he would come down here. And this one particular time, I decided I was going to drive up there and I was going to come pick him up so he could come back down here. Just wanted to visit down there so he can come back down here so we could visit. So I let him drive, and wait, that's a separate time. I'm thinking about the time where I am driving and you sitting in the passenger side talking shit. Just boop, 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 boop. Go to bed.
See, this
This
is
what happens
this
when we
is
go
being
live.
this
'Cause
is
you-
what live being married, and then you get this.
Didn't I say go to
You're
bed?
supposed to be in bed, Pootie.
Say hi.
Say hi. What's wrong?
Oh, girl, please. Go upstairs.
I shall return. Jai,
Go
continue
upstairs.
the story.
Anyways, so we driving, and this dude is just popping off at the mouth, and I just couldn't, I couldn't take it anymore, and I just like, whack, just hit him across his chest, and he just like jumped up. And I'm just like, yo, there's only so much I'm going to take of you talking shit to me. It's just not going to happen. So to this day, his version of that story is he was sleeping and I just decided I'm going to hit him just for no damn apparent reason. And he claimed that he thought it was a car accident. No, sweetheart. So that right there should have taught him right there that messing with me is going to be like a car accident. He didn't learn. So then there was another time that I get to tell y'all all the damn stories because he's not even in here right now babysitting. So there was another time where he was driving back and I think we might have been lost. And there's like one of these crazy ass curves to get off of the highway. Where the arrow goes like this, where you're supposed to slow the hell down. It's pitch black outside. This dude drives like a freaking maniac around the thing. And I'm like, slow the F down. And he's like, well, I can't see. Even more fucking reason to slow down. No, this one decides, this is why we're dating now. And he's like, he didn't believe that he was going to continue on this relationship. And I was in my mind like, you know what? This motherfucking thing, he got me real messed up. He's got me real messed up. I'm going to finish my little thrills and then I'm out.
Yeah, that's about the size of it.
Stop talking about the time that I hit you in your chest because you were talking
she put
shit
her
and then
hands
you
on me.
claimed
I was asleep.
that you was asleep.
I was
Well, you
asleep.
was talking shit in your sleep.
Do I talk shit in my sleep now?
Not anymore, but you
Yeah,
used
but
to.
I do.
Yeah.
I talk shit in my
But you was
sleep.
talking shit to me. We were talking.
But I fell asleep. I could be talking to you now. And
How
fall
are you
asleep.
talking shit? And see, that's what the problem was. He was sleeping on me at the time. So you felt so damn comfortable within your I got muscles hood that you thought you was gonna be able to talk shit, talk yourself to sleep, and I was just gonna take that.
I
No.
told myself I'm not dealing with this woman.
And he came back.
And then she put her hands on me.
Actually, he didn't leave. We were still driving to the house.
Oh, we still had to make it. Yeah, we still had to make it to the house.
And then it was the time you was, I forgot, we were talking your shit. I don't remember what the hell we was arguing about. But you still brought your ass, and I told you, I dare you to come back down here. I dare you
Yes,
to come down here.
yes.
All of your shit will be at Greyhound on fire. Because I was
Yes.
getting ready to straight up.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
Let me tell you something. If listening
I'm
to
about
these
to burn all
stories, a
this
lot of
shit up.
people we should not have been together. The way they think. This girl.
it wasn't that bad.
No, it was bad because you told me that I'm on a bus coming. I almost got arrested. They took me
That was
off
'cause that
the
crazy
bus.
lady, though. That wasn't me.
But there was a. That's another story. I'll tell you that story
Not the
another
crazy
time.
lady.
But the
other
basis,
crazy lady, not
the
me.
basis of this was that even though what I believe that kept us wanting to see each other, because think about it, she's here, I'm
the
there. She's here, I'm there, and it would have been easy for her to do whatever she was doing there, and it was super easy for me to do whatever I was doing down there. But even if that was the case, there wasn't I had no mental connection to that magnitude of the people, or to any magnitude, to the point where this person was not physically there, but infused in my day-to-day life, to the point where I can say early in the relationship, I could say certain phrase words and she would know how I was feeling, why I was feeling that way. It's like everything that was going on with me, and I was going through troubling times at that time. And she was actually the only person. I had a lot of baggage. A lot of self-imposed baggage, a lot of baggage that people just jumped on
top of each other.
and it just coming on. It's almost like when we get them soldiers that come home and no one debriefs them, like I hinted on earlier, I was in prison, I was in prison. I did some years in prison, and getting out of prison, I wasn't debriefed. Not
Did
to
you
the
assume
point
that
where
I was going to be afraid of you because of that? Or no?
Well,
like other people did?
No, I don't think. I thought you were afraid of me. It wasn't even the fact of me being in prison. I didn't think you were going to be afraid of me. I thought, if anything, that would have turned you off. In this day and time,
Normally
because
it
that's
would,
not
but-
the type of. In my mind, I'm saying, well, she's never dealt with a guy like that or whatever. She don't even, And when she heard, about what happened.
I didn't hear it. I got it from you. You actually.
You had to hear it if I told you.
I mean, like heard it then by somebody else. When
Yeah,
you told
I'm
me,
not talking about that, but someone else. But when I told her,
That was the specific circumstances that I probably would have been in the same position.
yeah, that took place, and I thought it would be almost a breaking point, whereas she's like, nah, I'm not really trying to deal with that. I wasn't established with anything at the time. I was, trying to reignite a relationship with my son. I was working, trying to stay, gainfully employed. And I had parole. So and I was living with my sister. So, and that was a whole nother situation there, because, my sister had children, and, I really didn't have my own space in life at the time. And inside my mind, I'm just thinking, man, everything is going bad. This is not going to work. It's going hard. And then something else came, and then something else came. But the talking that I did with Jai, it was almost to the point, it was outside of the fact that we were just in a relationship. She was almost like a life coach. Mm-hmm. It was like she would never allow me to stay in that rut. And I was the rut guy. Like, I like to use that to feed my anger. That's how I was. So if I was angry, I was angry. That was it. And I was hard on myself. Like there was a lot of things I felt I didn't deserve. So I was always looking for her to leave. And with men, I think when we look for a person to leave because of our own shortcomings, we actually do the type of things to run them away.
Correct.
And I was doing it. You know, I was doing, even though I knew I loved her, I knew I wanted to be with her, but I also felt I didn't deserve her because I felt I was, you know, trying to atone for my own transgressions that I felt. But at the same time, she wouldn't allow that, you know. But and I think she knew.
Deal breaker things,
yeah, I wasn't doing deal breaker things. You know, some things is just, you know what, I love you, but I can't deal with this anymore. So,
I did ask for a break because you had a lot of negativity that was surrounding you, and you were allowing you to come on, or you were allowing it to overcome you. And I did ask, well, not ask. I'm just like, listen. I need a break. I need to just be chill. I need my mind to mentally be happy. And this was like a couple months, maybe 4 months into us, you know, being all happy-go-lucky. You know, everyone gets down on themselves, and I'm all right with that. Everyone has issues where they're not satisfied where they are, which is perfectly fine because, you know, even though I had my own spot, I was definitely not financially where I wanted to be. I wasn't in the job that I wanted to be. I didn't have the life that I wanted to have. I was single with a child, and you know what I mean? Like, I had a small 2-bedroom apartment that barely had any furniture in it. So it wasn't like I felt like I was too much better than him. I did feel like I was better than my situation. So I think that's where the two of us were like, you know, opposites. We were both, you know, down on what was going on as far as financially is concerned, but I knew there was greater for me, and he didn't. And I just remember distinctly having a conversation and talking to God, and, you know, just saying, I know this is not why I was born. This is not my destiny. I need something more than this. Here's my list, God. This is what I want. I want to be married. I want to have, you know, family. I want to have all these things. Just send me what you got. Send me what you have for me. And that's kind of why he ended up entering the picture. I wasn't sure that's what I'm just like, nah. And then he just was able to like gradually grow on me. But I say that to say the long distance thing that we worked at, it was work. And it's no different, I feel like, than the marriage. It was just work. Just as long as I had my list of deal breakers. Mm-hmm. These are the things, if you cross these lines, we gonna have a problem. We're done. And it was easy because we don't live together. And I'm not sure if you had the same thing, like the deal breaker. Or if you're even mentally.
Well, with men, it's always if you cheat on. You know, see, women will be like, you know, women's list, I think, is a lot different than men's list. As a man, I'm not trying to speak for all men, but most of us is like, if she had sex with somebody else, that's a wrap. That's kind of like the only thing on our list. That's why men and women are so much different. Some women can get through that. Some women can. Some women, you know, most women gonna be like, listen, don't put your hands on me, don't beat me, you know, don't hit my children, don't steal from me, don't rob from me, you know, don't be out partying all night, and don't be a drug addict, don't be drinking, see all of those things, because women know that those is a lot of deal breakers that some women don't break the deal. You know what I'm saying? They just love the individual so much that they believe if I don't do this, then he won't do this, and then we'll be happy. But it's not her. If anything, it's the individual himself and his own demons of what he's trying to get out of. So deal breakers for men and women are totally different. Like with me, I knew Jai wasn't going to steal from me. And here's a quick story about that. I had a lot of people wanted money from me. You know, a lot of people, I guess, thought that I buried the treasure when I went to prison. because that's how they treated me. They treated me like I buried the treasure, so they were just trying to hang around with me until I unearthed it and blessed everybody. You know, coming out of prison, working a job and just trying to take care of you and your son the best you can. You don't have nothing. No one gave me anything like, here you go, get a start. So a lot of people believed that for some reason I had money. So Jai, this was going to be another deal breaker. Jai had told me one time, listen, you know, every time you get paid, you need to give me X amount of money. Automatically in my mind, I'm saying, okay, this is one of those bougie, stuck-up, light-skinned girls, and this ain't going to last either. Mind you, I didn't even live here at the time. I didn't even live here.
I thought I explained it to you a little bit.
No, I wasn't trying to hear that. It just didn't make no sense to me. At the time, I didn't believe it. So every time I got paid and I came up here, I would give Jai asked for a certain amount of money. Gave her the money. Me, the way I'm thinking is, listen, I'm going to give it to you because you about to bury yourself. And if that's all it's going to cost me in this short term to find out that you ain't shit, and you just want to take my money, then it's good riddance.
So he was okay with tricking, basically.
So no, I wasn't tricking. I just, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, we gonna see what, because at the same token, I would come up here and Jai would foot the bill a lot. You know what I'm saying? We would go to buy food. Jai's paying. We would go out. She, you know what I'm saying? I never felt comfortable with her buying anything for me. That's just the type of man I've always been. That's why I knew I could never be a pimp. You know what I'm saying? Because I just didn't feel comfortable about her buying anything. It used to make me feel less of a man. It used to make me feel like I wasn't worthy. It used to make me feel like I didn't have anything to contribute to her in this life that we was hopefully trying to build. It really made me feel like shit. So, long story short. So, I'm giving Jai all this money, and whatever. Cool. Something came up where I needed some money. And I didn't get paid yet. Oh, it was the apartment. I needed the apartment. I'm running around. I'm like, damn, I'm trying to borrow the money from this person, that person. One of my co-defendants came through for me, but I still needed more money. And I was like, Dad, Jai. And I wasn't going to ask Jai.
He wasn't telling me.
I wasn't telling her. That's right. I wasn't telling her. I don't even know how you found out.
You eventually told me.
Eventually I told. Okay. And she said, well, you have money. I said, I don't even have. I'm living check to check. As soon as the money goes into my Chase account, I got to pay my bills and it's going. I don't have no money. All the money that I was giving her all that time, she was saving it for me because she knew I was spending hand over fist for everybody else who needed it.
Or your food.
All for my food, just to eat. My son. Whatever was going through, I had to pay parole fees. It was everything. So I was always down to my last nickel all the time. And all that money that I was giving her, along with that, you know what I'm saying? That's why I was even more angry and bitter because I'm like, damn, this girl know I'm broke and she's still taking this goddamn money from me. I'm going to leave her ass. But it's okay. I'm going to let it play out. And she said, go in the box upstairs and go get the money. And I was like, what? And I went in the room and it was written, all the money, every cent, every dollar, every $100, it was there. Every single. That is when I knew. I said, ain't nobody like her. And I don't mean that to say that there's no one like her. I mean, for me, at that point in time, there wasn't nobody like her. And I knew right there and then that, listen, man, I might F up every now and then. I may do dumb shit, but I gotta be with her.
Yeah,
there is nobody like that.
The attitude was on.
You know, my attitude was shitty. You know what I'm saying? Because it had nothing to do with her. My attitude was shitty because I was still angry. I was angry I had to do all that time. I was angry I was out of my son's life for so many years. I was angry at those who kind of, I felt betrayed me, you know. That's all the anger I was at. And then you get a bright spot in your life. Now imagine you having 50 million things to be angry at, but you get that one bright spot. It's hard to allow that bright spot to encompass all that anger. And that was that's the demons that I was fighting, trying to let go of that anger, to even embrace and be a part of all that love that she was giving me. I mean, she has, her demons, I have my demons, but out of all the stories we have, that one, and it's not just a materialistic thing I'm thinking about as far as money, it's the fact that she was thinking about me before I wasn't even thinking about myself, to the point where I got you, and look, here it is. Don't ever think that, you know what I'm saying, you have to go to anybody, because I'm going to make sure that you're okay. When you don't even know that you know what I'm saying, when you're not taking care of yourself. And that was right there and then. I had already loved her, but right there and then I knew that I wanted to be with this woman, and I was dealing with, like I said, I was single before Jai, and when I met Jai, I was single and I wasn't with anybody, but of course, as all people, I was doing me.
And married.
Yeah, but that's
married and
that was a whole nother story.
You're separated, but it's like some weird marriage.
It was weird.
We'll probably get into
I'll
that
tell
one
you
day.
about that one another day too. But
I had someone say, I didn't know that John was married before. I was like, oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, I mean, my life is
People
hopefully
think that this shit is just all sweet, smooth,
no,
and
it's
and
not.
stuff,
This
because,
was.
You just gotta learn how to look at the life.
It was a rough, bumpy thing. Like, a lot of people see us and they think that those who know. They think that, oh man, these guys is great. Look at it, man. We went less than half of the stuff we went through would have destroyed even a lot of relationships from even starting. I don't know the distance alone. I don't personally will recommend long distance relationships.
I like them. I like them. I think maybe it's a personal thing for me. I like the long distance relationship because it allows me to have my own space.
Yes, exactly.
Like
That's
alone.
why you like it. You like it because you're independent to the point where you need your own energy. You
that's
don't
why
need.
My own room.
You need. Yes, that's why she has her own room up here. She
like
needs her
space.
own energy to do what she needs to do. She's a creative, and I believe creative minds is like that. That's how Jai is. Yeah. Me, on the other hand, I like to be around whoever I'm with. I want to be around them. Like,
I thought you was gonna say you like to be around people. Like, no,
I don't like to be around people. I like individuals. I don't like people as a whole.
That's me. I don't like groups. I like individual people. So
yeah,
a lot of the stuff we learned about each other. Just being on the phone. I like the long distance relationship thing because it allows you guys to mentally get to know each other in the long run. Even when you're physical and all that wonderful stuff, even if that's the bomb diggity, whatever you want to call it, at the end of the day, it ends. I don't care how long it is, it's going to end. And then you guys are stuck there with each other, face to face, room to room. And then what do you do? Yeah. So a lot of our, the beginning of our marriage and relationship was just all pure conversation, like all day, every day, the goods, the bads. When I'm not in a good mood, when he's not in a good mood, we were each other's energy, and he learned a lot from me and I learned a lot from him, and I learned a lot about myself through him, and vice versa. He learned a lot about himself through seeing what it is that I had to offer as well. So as far as the long distance relationship, I'm a big fan. I'm a very big fan of those, because you get to see each other's through their eyes and through their ears and through their mind and through your, you know what I mean, like mouth, and it not be anything sexual and it not be anything physical, and it be, the good and the bad, because no matter how wonderful you can pretend to be in the beginning of everything,
it all comes
the
out.
Real you is gonna come out. It's only so much fronting that you can do that is gonna come out. And he did a lot of his niceness in the beginning, a whole lot of his niceness, and I did a whole lot of my niceness too. And then the lion just came out, and I'm sorry, baby. And the lioness for me just had to come right back at him. So I think the long distance relationship for me, if you're in one, or if you're contemplating one, or if you're the type of person that is alone and wants to be with somebody, and you had the opportunity to have a long distance relationship and you feel like, no, I want to see them all the time, I feel like slow and steady wins the race for me. Slow and steady definitely wins the race. So I'm a big fan of the long distance relationship, and we are your example that can work. We are the example that can work. But we are also the example that shit ain't easy. And that shit takes work. And that shit takes, I won't even say patience, because I don't even think I got patience. I just had a different way of, expressing my opinion or expressing my anger. And sometimes I would retreat. I would just, fuck him, I'm not talking to him, period. Yeah. And a lot of learning had to happen, so. We got an Instagram post popping up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, on the other hand, me, like I said, I was I like the closeness of being with a person. I don't really especially the fact that see, I'm going through my own experience as far as getting on a bus at midnight, traveling all the way up here. My knees is hurting on the damn bus.
You did all that for me, baby. All that for me. Hey, Koi.
Oh, it was stressful. I get off at work at 11.
All for a weekend. This was literally for a weekend.
Just for the weekend.
This was Friday night popping up, and then Sunday.
I have to be going by Monday. Monday, I would be on the 2:00 in the morning bus to get back to New York City by 7, to get on the train to get to work by 8.
And I had to be at work Monday morning too.
And you know what I mean?
So
the things, are you really, do you really want to make that sacrifice? I mean, it depends, it depends on what are you.
It depends on what the other person is sacrificing also, because it can't be one way thing.
No, it can't be. But at the same token, I mean, sometimes dudes do that just for a booty call.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They just do a booty call and they'll break out and go out of town. But I knew it just wasn't a booty call. I could have did that in New York. But I knew it was something that had more substance than that. But that's why I didn't like the whole traveling thing. And then I think another part of it was the fact that I was on parole. I was taking a chance.
That was a super risk.
That was a risk. It was a stupid, I'm going to say it was a stupid risk because...
And for those of y'all that are out on parole, if you're listening, that is not something that you should do.
Don't do that.
That's not something you should do.
Never.
We're not encouraging
It was. I'm gonna say this: as much as I love Jai, as much as
I'm not even encouraging anybody to be dating someone that's on parole at all. But
that's another story too.
Like,
yeah, that's
he's
another
his own
story.
Entity. It's not
that's
even,
a whole nother story. But
I would not be dating him if he was the type your regular parolee.
Yeah.
That's all.
But I think, me taking a chance coming up here, and anything could happen. I could have got violated from parole. I could have went back to parole. I had the parole officer I had was like ill. I mean, there was times when he actually called me and I was here, and he would be like, "Listen, I'm knocking on the door. There's nobody home. Are you in there?" And I would have to be like, I just did a double. I'm at work. All right, okay, I'll see you Wednesday. I was taking dangerous chances.
That was also because of your character with them.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't think, being that I had 2 jobs also. I worked as a...
You did what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, I was a trainer at the gym, and I worked for at Coney Island. And
speaking of which, how many of y'all think he should still be a trainer? Because I don't. Come on now. He claims he doesn't like people, but the second someone asks him about how do you do this, he's all breaking out his bobbleheading and shit and text messaging away to people to tell them how to do it. So why the hell not?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm becoming grumpy as I'm getting older. And I just don't like people like that. You know what it is? I think the intensity that I do it, I don't see them. Insensitive. Yeah, but I just can't see you. You know what I mean? Someone just going through the motions. I don't know.
If they got that check for you.
Yeah, I understand that. But I've never been like that. I wish I could be like that and not care about anything and just do it. That's one of the reasons why I couldn't do it in New York. They just wanted me, the gym I work for, just wanted me to basically rob people. The way they had it set up was like you basically did nothing and charged them for it, and I couldn't do it. You know, I'm not saying I'm a noble and person like that, but I just couldn't do it. I don't know. I definitely don't want to work.
I'm telling you, Glenn.
Do it with anyone. Make your own business. Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. I'm tired of this 9 to whatever.
Well, I want to be a stay-at-home dad now.
I want to make enough money for you to be a stay-at-home dad.
She's been trying to get me to stay home for years. I'm just letting you know for years.
That's why I'm out here trying to get my hustle on.
My ego won't let me say, but now I'm starting to feel like I want to stay home.
I don't like paying these people for daycare.
I think I want. Yeah.
I am not the stay-at-home mom type of material. I can't. It's hard for me. It's a struggle for me to get through the weekend with these damn kids. So that's a whole nother story.
Oh man, I can't wait till we get to children. Do we have to? Yes, we got to get to children. Blended families.
Yes.
Because that's what we are.
Yeah.
I have a 23-year-old son, and he's blended, but he's big. He's big. He's 23, so he's got his own issues that he's dealing with. So he's not really a part of us like that. But
he's so cute.
Yeah. My son, his name is Devon. But in regards to Soraya. Well, how old was it? Soraya, I met her when she was like 4. She didn't even turn 5 yet.
Yeah, her birthday was at October.
Yeah. She was. I met Soraya. Came into life when Soraya was 4, and she'll be 12 this October.
That's another part of that dating situation.
Yes.
A lot of the times when he was coming up here, she was going to her grandmother's house.
Yeah, she was never. That's one thing that Jai didn't play that. It wasn't going to be me coming up here and laying up and
no.
Just see a daughter seeing another man, which was another like I said, I've been in different relationships. I've been around women where that didn't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you could walk in the house and I'm the next dude, and you go in the room, and then next thing you know, the kid is there. Then you come out and go home. You know what I'm saying? Like that wasn't happening in this type of situation.
No.
Which with men, when women don't. Let me tell you something to you women real quick. A man can only do what you allow him to do. I'm not talking about, a man physically overpowering you. I'm talking about what you go for. If Jai was the type of person that was okay to see coming and going, then that will make lots of times the man say, I don't value her. You dig what I'm saying? Because look at how she's just not really evaluating the situation. So if I could come through, and even if the daughter's here and do what I do, and I'm coming every weekend doing that, how does that as a man make me value her to say, this is the woman I really want to be with? You dig what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people say, oh, yes, but it's also up to the man's responsibility to be a gentleman. Yeah, but everyone's not a gentleman. And some gentlemen
are savages.
And some gentlemen will still take advantage of a woman who's not acting like a lady. You dig what I'm saying? So that was another thing that stood out. The fact that wasn't happening. Like, she was like never here, until it became time, for me to meet her. And when it came time for me to meet her and I met her, it still wasn't that, I'm still coming over and I'm laying up just on the weekend. Because look at that. How can a kid, you know what I'm saying? I'm still coming over on the weekend and I'm leaving.
And don't get it confused or twisted. I wasn't sending her away on the weekend just because John was coming. No. They called for Soraya and I let them go. And that was a lot of learning that I had to do. We'll get into that later on too. Women, you can't be holding your kids hostage, trying to punish the other person. And that I fell victim to that once. I started that and then I had to learn how to get out of that. My daughter is a daddy's girl. She wants to see her dad, and it don't matter what the relationship it was between me and him. It don't matter what he was or was not doing. We'll get into that another day, but I'm not holding nobody hostage. But y'all call for her, deuce, and then mommy's gonna play. You know what I mean? So it was nice that I was just able to. I mean, it just worked itself out that way. But at the same time, it was like, nah, we can't. I can't. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I can't have her seeing anybody else. It was just ridiculous for me. So, I guess we're gonna cut this now because y'all know Power is about to come on. And I'm in there like swimwear. I gotta watch that show. So I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for staying tuned.
Yes.
We're gonna do this again next week. I'm not sure if it is going to be Sunday or Monday. I don't mind being on at the same time as Lies and Hip Hop because I don't really mess around with that show. And I don't mind if you guys either catch it later on or if y'all stay with us. Then we just going to be here. And eventually we'll get on a scheduled time so where you guys already know. Then you'll know how to work out your schedules in order to be a part of this. Let me just read this last comment. For me, it seems like she valued and protected her child. Amen. A single mother, and she also would not bring them in. Amen, girl. Amen.
That's how it should be. I mean,
that's
honestly,
how it should be.
That's how it should
That's
be.
really
You can't just bring.
Especially when you got girls.
Listen, I see there's a lot of. I don't know, like. Oh, real quick, Jew. You can't compare yourself to a dude. You know when y'all bring up that double standard thing?
Yeah.
Like, a guy does him and a woman want to do her. You want to know why y'all can't bring up that double standard? Because as a female, as a woman, if you're the precious jewel that you are, even if this guy or that guy don't see that jewel, it doesn't stop you from still being that jewel. So you can't stoop to the level of an individual man that does that. You see what I'm saying? So I know nowadays in this new day and time, they got this thing whereas women just saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do me." Let's not. Oh, if a man has sex with a bunch of women, he's a champion. But if a woman does it, she's a slut. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go into what's a slut and what's not, but no one understands that. You are that jewel, you know what I'm saying? And if you are that jewel, then you have to shine like that at all times. That means that everybody is not worthy, you know what I'm saying, to see that jewel. So y'all got to stop doing that. We got to stop saying that, if a man freaks off and, it has a bunch of women, then he's the king. And why can't women do the same thing? Why would you want to do the same thing? You know
You've been there, done that, just,
fuck it, man.
Live your life. Forgive yourself. Forgive others. Whatever the case is. That was one of the things that we did in the beginning too. Well, not in the very beginning, but we eventually got to a point where we trusted each other enough to where if we're gonna go forward with this, then I need you to know everything. And that was one of the many conversations that we had. These are my skeletons, or these are my bones, and this is my closet. Open the door, let it fall out, whatever the case is. Mm-hmm. Either you got it or you not. Either you with it or you not. And if you're not, then roll.
And I was quick, let me tell you something, I was quick to keep my shit in the closet. But, you just met me
at the right time.
At the right time.
I was accepting myself and I was okay with me. And I was loving me. And I was like, listen, there is no secrets. Yeah, so there was no secrets. We have no secrets.
Secrets, some shits will come back and get you.
Yeah, they will.
Hey.
All right, y'all. Power's about to come on.
Thank you guys for tuning in. It's about to get juicy as the time goes on.
We'll be back. We might even. I actually wanted to go into something tomorrow.
Another one.
I want to jump on here tomorrow and let y'all know what our latest argument might have been, because we go through little stupid ones, and I be wanting to be like, yo, let me hop on here.
We had an argument?
We don't got no arguments per se, but I don't know. We just go through our little shit, and it's like, let me tell you what this MF just did.
Why does it have to be what I just did?
Same thing for me too. What I did or what you did or whatever the case is. It's funny.
Whatever.
All right, y'all.
Peace out.
Love y'all.
One. That's the peace sign.
Get on power.
We're not like this.
Get on power.
That's their peace sign.
Get on power.
It's our peace sign.
We got to get power on the show. We got to support that show.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.
One.